Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Same Team, Different Jerseys. We just had a minor miscommunication right before we started, so don't mind me. It is your
Hey.
lovely co-host, Hannah, and I'm welcomed by my usual BFFs, our editor-in-chief, Sonia, and our awesome host, Damian. So
Oh, that's too early.
we're
Way
ending
to
the
ruin
podcast
everything.
today, guys.
Yeah,
Tell
right?
your cat I said pss, pss, pss.
And thank you for joining us. See us on
You can
And
listen to us on
Spotify,
Spotify.
YouTube.
And I think that's a world record for podcast episodes.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
okay. Oh, before you get going,
I'm so out of whack now.
it is, and this is going to screw you up. So Sonia asked a question, and I know from a guy's point of view, and we are not going to be talking about this. This is a real quick thing. This is like just an insert.
This is to get our tangents out of the way.
No. So Sonia had her drug test today for her new job, by the way. She
Well,
got
I
a new
had
job.
a pre-hire. It's a pre-hire screening.
Yes. So, but she had to pee in the cup.
Right, yeah. It's
And
all
they said-
contingent on you passing.
They said it was going to be observed. And my argument was, you told me it was going to be observed. Anyways, I argued with her, I guarantee you it's not observed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even if
not going to be.
even if it's observed, it's not military observed, because for guys they are fucking right there. And I was like, and she asked, "Do women get that treatment?" I'm like, "What the rules say, not what actually happens. What
Yeah,
do the
that's what I'm
rules say,
The
Hannah?"
rules say that the observer has to see the cup at all times, and they have to see the fluid enter it.
So where is the cup?
Which is really hard for women. Like, I don't know I don't know how other women hold their cup, but I hold my cup like this. So, like, my hand is covering the cup.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see the fucking
Yeah.
cup. Right? That's the easiest way to do it. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's some magical woman out there that reaches from behind and, like, brings it up from behind. I don't know. My arm's not long enough for
Yeah,
that.
mine either.
Yeah, so, like, I cover the front of it. Now, my very first observed pee in a cup for the military, they stood at the entrance of the stall, right? The door's left open, and she squatted. And it made me very uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
uncomfortable that I could not pee.
So
They
you're
gotta
not
be
that close
correct.
then.
There,
Damian makes it sound like the penis is here and his face is like here.
Oh, for guys it is.
Guys, they, like, watch over your fucking shoulder. They're like, hey.
Or they get
What's he
beside
doing?
you and squat down.
Or they get beside you. Yeah. I've never heard the guys that I know that were in doing all that stuff, like, they've never had somebody excuse me, get that close, but they're, like, standing on the side, literally watching it leave your dick and go into the cup.
Yeah. They are cock
Girls,
gazing.
once I got out of training side of the military and I got operational, girls, like, they'll just stand kind of near the door. As long as they can see what you're doing, they really don't care. Like, they're
Some-
not.
Some
fucking
of
up
the
in it.
guys, they'll just stand off to the side.
Yeah.
Be like, "Are you good?" But there are some guys that, like,
They
they're
take
trying
it
to.
He
very
made it
serious.
sound like when
The
a girl
right-
pees, hold on. He made it sound like when a girl pees, right? You're standing there, like she's here holding the cup and her face is like right here.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's
how
how
do you
my
stop
first one
from
was.
How do you stop
Ye-
from splashback?
What's splashback?
I guess if you're holding it properly.
I hold
You
my
don't have
cup
that problem?
literally like it touches skin.
Yeah, mine does too, but I would imagine not all females do.
They got really good aim then. Mine always touches skin.
Alright.
It literally, like,
Okay.
that's my urethra. It's like cup is all the way around, touching skin all the way around it because I'm not trying to miss, okay? That's like liquid gold when you're peeing in a cup. That shit's liquid gold because God forbid you don't have enough. Because the military, they want like, not
Yeah.
like that much beer in there, you know?
Yeah.
Like they want their money's worth. So yeah, I've had one, and that was my in not BMT in tech school. She was at the stall door and she squatted to see. Everything after that, they like were
Yeah.
well out of arm's reach.
I've had both,
MEPS,
but
MEPS too. MEPS, they fucking squatted. They didn't even have doors on the stalls.
Yeah, they're all up in you.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they're buying.
like, they
They
don't
have to
give
buy
a
you.
fuck,
Yeah, they buy you dinner first because it's going to get intimate.
and they pay for a really nice mine was a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
It had a
Okay.
pool,
So
gym, whole 9 yards.
sorry for the tangent, but that was a conversation that got brought up yesterday, I think it was.
Alright, so back to our normal topic, alright?
Yes.
Today, we're gonna talk about how it's fucking impossible to buy a house or live on
Okay.
your own
Yes.
without assistance.
So grandparents could buy a house, raise
Bro,
kids, have a
our grandparents could buy a fucking house out of the JCPenney catalog.
okay, have a car and still have money left
Tell me
On
how
one-
that's a thing.
on one income. Today, 2 full-time income barely cover rent, groceries, all the other stuff for many. House prices are still sky high. Groceries haven't come down, and living alone feels like a luxury. Do you think this is inflation? Is this women entering the workforce like some people have said? Both. So we're going to break that down today.
Do we want to do our
And-
personal views first, or do we want to go straight into like statistics?
Well, let me give 3 quick statistics. So in 2026, according to Zillow and NAR, the average house price right now is $408,000 to $426,000.
Unless you live in Texas.
That's the medium. That's the average for America if they put it all together. Now,
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
the median household income, both parents, is $83,000 a year. Home price to income ratio is 5 times worse affordability in decades, up from 3 times during our grandparents' era. Groceries, food, still up 2.4% as of February 26. 2026 forecast, according to the USDA and ERS, it's going to go up 3.1%.
In total? Like
In-
added to the 2 point whatever?
It just says it'll be up to 3.1%. So I don't know if it still has from 2.6 to 3.1. I think that's what they're saying. Is it's going to go
so it's
from
going to go.
2.6.
Okay, yeah. So the max
So-
is going to be 3.1.
All right. So
Hopefully.
are we all fucked?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to sell a kidney on the black market.
Will you have your ovaries? Just give some eggs.
You-
I
Do you
can't
produce
give eggs.
eggs?
I can't produce eggs. They can't produce a valuable egg
Mm.
Oh.
because it has to drop into your tubes. That's when they take it. It drops into the tubes and they extract it.
Well, worth a shot.
And I'm too old now. You got to like the max age you can donate eggs at is like 29.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it's very young. Very young.
And I've had a vasectomy, so I can't like do
Because
sperm
once you're
donor.
30 and up, like your fertility goes down, right?
Yeah.
30 and
Yeah.
up. And then so your like egg quality, I guess, starts ticking down.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take me anyways with my fucking family
All-
history. They'd be
All
like,
the problems.
yeah, my
all the
family history,
problems.
they'd be like, yeah, you're fucked. It's a good thing you didn't have kids.
Okay, so are the Gen Z 18 to 29 people, are they over exaggerating, or is this like a actual thing that, it's not getting any better?
So I will say, like, in some places, right, like you might be okay, right? Like I know there's a bunch of states that are starting to increase their minimum wage, right? And a bunch of us are like, I remember when I was doing this, and I was like me. I remember my first job. I made $7.35.
Mine was
$7.35.
4 1/4.
And I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like I would get my paycheck because I got paid weekly, and I'd be like, fuck yeah.
I'm rich.
But I also didn't have bills. Well, I lied. I had to pay
Right.
for my car insurance. But I had my car was paid off, so I only got the basic. So, but so I will say, like, there's some stuff that's increasing, right? Like minimum wage. Like you can go flip burgers right now at McDonald's for fucking $15. Like that's pretty good. Is it enough for you to get out of the house?
Nope.
no.
I mean, I could
No.
tell you, I
But
could
you
tell
should be
everybody.
getting your first job in fucking high school. Like, you shouldn't
Yeah.
be waiting till you're graduated and then going and getting a first job and being like, "I'm gonna move out." Like, no, that's not happening, bro.
Okay, that's a big argument with a lot of people. They're saying that if you work full time, doesn't matter what job, you should be able to have a living, and I
I would
disagree
ag
with that.
no, I would agree. I would agree. I think if you are 18, right, let's say you're, like, super active in high school, right? Because I knew kids growing up when I was going to school that they didn't work, but they also played sports year the fuck around. So when would they work, right? Like, they were banking on hoping to get a scholarship, and they just never did. So then they had to enter the workforce at 18. So
Right.
I think a minimum wage job should pay enough for you to have the basics, right? The basics. You should be able to afford a super small one bed, one bath apartment. You should be able to afford a basic model vehicle, right? We're talking bottom of the line. Okay. And that's it. Groceries. You need food,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I don't know. I don't think somebody who flips burgers should move out. Like you're flipping burgers. It takes, first of all, from our
well,
last
if
episode,
that's not
AI is
their,
gonna fucking take that.
if that's not their end goal, right? Like, what if somebody, perfect example, had a friend, her sister started in high school. She worked at Sonic as a car hop, right? Okay. Well, fast forward like 20 years later, now she's a franchise owner. She
I-
owns a fucking Sonic. So I mean,
Right.
it depends on what your goal is, right? If your goal is to be
I
a franchise owner, then like, yeah, you're gonna have to start by flipping
I
burgers.
think statistics show that if you make it to where any basic job gives you the basics, I think you'll de-incentivize a lot of people to do anything better. And
But
I
that's their choice, right? If they're
well,
totally content in living in a 500 square foot fucking apartment, owning a basic model piece of shit car, and the only thing they're able to afford is their rent, that basic model fucking car with insurance and groceries, that's on them. That's on them, right? It's like people who choose to be homeless. Like, nothing's going to incentivize them to not be homeless,
people are gonna
right?
argue with you on that one. People don't choose to be
There's
homeless. Yes, they do.
yes, they do. There are people who deliberately choose to be homeless. Go
Yes.
back like, what's 2026? Go back to like 2010, 2011. They did a huge research study on it in Las Vegas.
Well,
They did a I don't really want to call it a documentary, but they did a news series, like a journalist series on this guy who was a CEO, and he just one day stopped showing up to work, and they found him fucking panhandling in Vegas because he was like, "I'm tired of it." He sold everything. He was tired of it. So, yeah, people choose to be homeless.
so what do you think is what's the biggest expense we all have other than a house? A house is the big one. So one of the things I think is causing people not to be able to buy a house is the average. I know you read this, baby, but the average size house in like the 50s.
Yeah, so the average size went from being 1,000 square feet to about 1,500 square feet versus now that is the average is 2,500 square feet. So it's doubled in size.
Look, we have 5 people living in our house, okay?
Uh,
And a 50 a
you married into a family.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're kind of special. So talk about like a couple that met after high school, got married, and they're now trying to move out.
and they have no kids.
One. We'll even give them one kid.
One kid, you could get away with. I mean, obviously, like, with that, right, like, no matter what, with that scenario, you would want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath at a minimum. I think, like,
Why?
that's the average. Most people want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath because they plan on having another kid. If
Okay,
they're
but
gonna settle down and buy a house and they want another kid eventually, they're gonna want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
well, my
Right, so
dad
they're gonna
grew
plan
up.
ahead.
Yeah, my dad grew
Yeah.
up in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, but it was 1,050 square feet. I think one of the biggest problems we have is my house right now is almost 1,900 square feet.
Yeah.
Wait,
1,890.
1,890. Stop, pause. What did that have to do with the size of the family? We were talking about family sizes, and then you
No, we just used it as an example, and she said, a 3-bedroom. Do you really need a
right.
3-bedroom if you only have 1 kid?
Right,
Yes,
but if
because
you're
you're gonna
settling down, right? The
right,
goal in buying a house is now you're settled, right?
right.
You don't have to
N
move when you want another kid.
no, the goal of the house back in the day was you bought a, 1,000 square foot, 2-bedroom. What First of all, 1 bathroom was a very common thing. Like, the 2-bathroom thing is a new thing. So, you used to buy a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square foot house. After 8 years, you sold it and up like, that's why they were called starter homes. Not I mean, I'd have to look up the statistics, but, like, my grandparents, they sold their house and got a bigger house. My dad sold his house and got a bigger house. Like, you had starter homes, and we don't have people coming out of high school, they want their dream home, and that I think that's and unfortunately, the builders are building for that. Like,
But they make it impossible to buy a first home so that by the time that we get to an age where we can financially stably have a home, we're at that point of, okay, now it's time to settle. Now it's time to do the thing. So you either kill yourself working for your home when you're straight out of high school, you save up a shit ton of money, you put that down,
yeah.
or, I mean, Damien, the only reason you were able to buy a home before was because the VA was like, yeah, hey man, you're approved for this.
Right. I'm military, and I'm trying not to talk as a military person because we have special
Right.
circumstances.
So
So
everybody else in the world comes out of high school, they have to rent. They have no choice.
oh,
And I think it's absolutely absurd that you're going to sit here and charge me $1,700 a month for a shitty ass little 1-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom with borderline half a kitchen, and then turn around and tell me that I can't afford a $1,500 mortgage. I think that's bullshit. I think rent should go towards your mortgage, period, or towards your credit so that
Well,
you can
there
buy
are
a home.
companies that are starting to do that, right? There are
I
companies that are starting to do that.
I
So
do
like
disagree with that your rent doesn't count towards your credit score. I thoroughly disagree with that shit.
yeah, so like where we're looking at moving to, okay, you have to pay a fee monthly if you want it to go towards your credit, and I think that's horseshit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
bullshit. You're
that's
paying a
ridiculous.
bill. You're
Yeah,
paying a bill. That should go as credit. Like, hey, they've paid their $1,700 rent for 5 years on
mhm.
time, no problems. So I used to be in the old person camp of, pull yourself up from the bootstraps. These kids are late. Now, that's a completely different podcast on how their work ethic is. But I've kind of, after looking at all the statistics and stuff, I've changed my ways on saying, yeah, without some help, it's almost impossible for a 25-year-old couple, a man and a woman, 25 with 1 kid, unless they have like a fucking kick-ass job. But it's like, if they have a job that pays even both of them $25 an hour, I don't think they can. I don't know
I
if
think
they would.
everything is just hard right now, right? And I think our issue is stuff continues to get more and more expensive, and wages are not matching that, right? Like, a lot of wages are not matching that. Like, there's jobs out there. Okay, great example is like there's jobs out there that require you to have a bachelor's or a master's, and the starting pay is like $26 an hour. Bro, what? My
Here
degree once a year costs more than what you're about to pay me.
it's actually less here. Like, social workers, they need a bachelor's degree.
Yeah,
They start at 17.50 an hour here.
that's outrageous to me. Is the fact that like I look at mine right now. I obviously I use the GI Bill to get my degree or whatever, but I still got a monthly statement of what GCU was charging me every month to attend classes. And it was like $2,100 for a month-long class, right? And so my one class that was 8 weeks long was over 4 grand. Okay. And then you look at jobs that require you to have this bachelor's degree, and they're not even paying you a year what you paid in school.
No.
Yeah.
And I
I
think that's a problem. Like, if you're gonna require people if you want somebody who has a higher education, then you better pay for that higher education. Like,
I yeah, I think my
$17 is what you pay some fucking Joe Schmo off the street who's
Mm.
well
maybe never had a fucking job before.
Well,
Yeah,
I've told the story about when I went to get hired on a manufacturing place as a safety and quality control inspector. Now,
yeah.
I'm OSHA certified, I have a degree, and in the military, I got 23 years of experience in this. They wanted to hire me on, so I'm sitting there going through the interview, and they look at me, and this is before Arizona raised their minimum wage. Trust me, it didn't raise it like a lot, but it was pretty close to this. And we're going through the whole interview, and they really like me. They want to hire me. Do you have any questions? I said,
Oh, it
yes.
was gonna be a kick-ass schedule.
Yeah.
It was
I was
all of
like,
the
the
things.
schedule, I asked the basic stuff. I was like, okay, what's the starting, what are you starting? And they looked at me and said $14 an hour. And I said, thank you, but I don't want to waste your time or mine. But this is,
I'd have been like, "Yo, you shoulda came out of the gate with that because you just
we're,
wasted an hour
we're,
of my motherfucking day.
and I told them we're
The
not even
fuck out of here.
close.
Kick rocks, bro. Kick
And I was,
rocks."
And I was like, on their website, and they were like, "What seems to be, is there a price that you were thinking?" I was like, I was around 2021,
And
and
that's
they were like,
low. That's
and
fucking
that's
low.
low for what my experience is. And he was like, "Well, we're not even close to that." I was like, "Right, but your Indeed page said you wanted somebody with 5 years experience. You wanted somebody with an OSHA certification. You wanted somebody with a degree. I fit all that. That's a that is a quality candidate, but that candidate costs money. And
Yeah.
you're paying like you want somebody out of high school is basically what you're
Yeah.
saying.
And nobody
Because
out of high school is gonna have 5 years experience.
and your qualifications are not matching your
Yeah. But my thing with that, right, is I see that all the time where, like, even entry level jobs, right? If I say, "Hey, I have an entry level job for you," what do you think the qualifications would be?
You should have
Nothing. High school
basic
diploma.
no, you should have basic skills, and when I mean basic skills, you should be able to, like, type. You should be
Right, right,
able
right, right, but what qualifications? Those are skills. You're talking
Oh,
about skills. Qualifications for an entry level job.
none.
Qualifications.
No, you should not have any certifications.
Nothing, right?
No.
You should their one qualification should be
High
GED
school
or high school
diploma.
diploma.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. That's an
Can
entry level job.
can you
Okay.
breathe and wake up on time?
Yeah, can you get to work on time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I had an interview on Monday, right? I told you guys about it, okay?
Yep.
I asked a question that stumped one of these guys that was doing my interview, okay? And he literally chuckled and he was like, "I've never been asked this question before in an interview." Okay, I simply asked, "What are your expectations for your officers?" He's never been asked that before. And
That would be
this dude,
question 1.
yeah, it was like my second question, okay? And he's just like, "Oh," he was like, "Well, I've never been asked this before." And I was like, "Oh, well, first for everything, I guess." And he literally answered and he goes, "Well, to show up to work would be nice." And I'm like,
That's a low bar right there.
Well, to be honest, I don't wanna get off the financing subject, but you and me both you have a new job, but both you and me work at, Desert Mountain Security.
Yeah.
Tell me
Mm.
how many people are late? I have one guy and you know him.
Yeah.
He is constantly late and he relieves my fucking ass, so I
he
get
didn't even
pissed
say
at
he didn't even say to be on time. He just said show up to work. Like, bro, that tells me that the position that I'm applying for, okay, it is entry level, okay? But the one requirement is that you have to have a bachelor's degree in, behavioral health, social work, something of
That's
that
not entry
nature.
level to me then.
It's because of the job, right? Okay, probation officers, you have to have some type of degree because of what you deal with on a daily basis, right?
Okay, then it's not an entry level. I'm sorry, a
No, 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 no,
bachelor's
no, hold on,
degree
hold
is
on, hold on, hold on. For this specific job, it is entry level. That's their only qualification, is that you have that degree. Okay. So
I still disagree.
for
I
that
don't
it
think they
is
should
for that it is entry
I
level,
don't think they
right?
should call it entry level.
They're not
they should
asking for
come, like,
experience.
they should it doesn't matter. Entry to me is you're at the bottom. You know
See, I
nothing.
think entry yeah, so I would agree, right? So entry level for me, like, is yes, you should have no experience. I will say no experience. Now, for specific jobs, if they require you like, did you guys know, like, to be a recorder in court, right? A court recorder, you have to have a degree, and that's an entry level job, but you have to have a degree.
Okay. I
So depending on the position, right, entry level can mean different things, but I say entry level, I think no experience.
okay, so
Yeah.
this leads into why, and I'm this whole podcast, I am not going to rag on Gen Z about work ethic. This is their financial thing. 50% of 18 to 29-year-olds still live at home with their parents.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of I want to yell at all my Gen Xers out there that are probably raising these Gen Zs. Stop bitching, because I just looked at the numbers. It's not entirely their fault. We
Wouldn't
just
it be
talked about,
millennials? Wouldn't millennials be raising Gen Z?
well, no, because how old are
No.
you guys? Would you guys have an 18-year-old kid right now?
No.
You
In
guys
2
are
years, I will.
millennials.
In 2 years.
Yeah. I would easily have an 18-year-old kid.
What is Gen Z's birth what is
It's
their
Gen Z is 18 to 29.
birth years? Birth years, what is their
I
birth
don't
year?
fucking know. Mine
I don't
is
know. 95 is the cutoff though, so 30 and older.
No, it's,
well,
Gen Z is the one after millennials, right?
yes.
Yep.
So it's my cousin is in this. I think it's
Your
96.
sister
It's
is.
I know this one 'cause, okay, so it's, Gen Z, if they're the ones right after us, it's 96 to 2012.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would be having it.
So I
That would
actually
be
have 2 children that are Gen Z.
okay. Okay, so they're
'Cause it's
they're f-
I'm pretty sure I looked this up the other day 'cause it's 96 to 2012.
okay. So they're not moving out of the house. We just made a joke about, one of your kids saying, how they have rules until they're 18 and after 18. And you said something about when she moves out of the house. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, that might not be for a while. And according to the statistics, being 30, which is mind boggling to me just because of my, like, it would never have happened when I was growing up. But being 30, living at home with your parents is not an uncommon thing.
But I think there's easy fixes for this, right? You don't wanna live at home anymore? There's one place that I can guarantee is probably gonna take you as long as you're not retarded.
The military.
The military. You don't wanna live at home? You're so desperate to get out? Go sign your life away for 4 to 6 years. Guess what? They'll send you wherever the fuck they want,
They'll give you an apartment
and
too.
they'll pay you to
Little
go there. They'll
tiny.
pay to train you. They'll give you your own living quarters. You might have to share a bathroom and a kitchen, potentially, but you get your own space.
Yep.
You get a
So
paycheck, and your
I
paychecks, they're not horrible,
and
not terrible.
experience. You know
Yeah.
what? I won't. We can go into that whole different. The military pay is not bad. I am tired of hearing that we get paid. They go off for a 24-hour clock, so we're not going to go into that. That's a whole different podcast. I can
Yeah,
go
we'll have
off.
to do that one another day.
Yeah, but so 1 some of the statistics were mind-boggling. 1.5 million more adults under 35 still live at home with their parents.
I have a problem with that. I think that's like I feel like we're just setting up our future generations up. We're just setting them up for failure.
So 64% of parents with Gen Z kids say their adult children still rely on them financially. 56% of that 64%, the parents say it's hurting them financially. Like they are struggling because their kids still live at home. And
But
I don't think,
I wonder what statistic of that are their adult children are actively working, and what percentage of that their adult children are not.
yeah, now are the parents sitting there going, you need to contribute to the fucking electric, you need
Yeah,
to contribute.
that's like mine. Like if my children when they are older, right, and it is impossible for them to live on their own, but they have a job and they're trying to do it, cool, bet I'm all about it as long as you're trying to do it, right? But you sure as fuck ain't
Yeah.
living at my house and mommy are paying for all your bills. I ain't paying for your car. I sure as fuck ain't
Uh,
paying for your gas. I ain't paying for your insurance. You want a cell phone? You better get your own.
well,
Like,
okay.
or you better contribute to the bill.
Yeah. Okay. Sonia, Your mom had 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
How old were all of them when they moved out? Like, officially, they don't live at home with mom and dad anymore.
So I want to say my brothers were like 18 or 19 because they both went in the military when they turned age. Um, Alec might have even been like borderline 18 because he started National Guard when he was a junior or senior with parent permission.
I thought he was
Yeah.
still living at home when he was 22. When
No.
I mean, he lived at home when I knew you, when I first met you.
So yes, but no. So you have to think like
He lived in the
he,
garage.
it was not in the garage.
It was a converted
It
garage.
was a converted garage, very popular in Jersey. Anyway, so he went National Guard, right? And then they shipped him out for like a year. So there was like probably a good solid year and a half that he was not at home. So when he came home, he got his shit together, and the following year he was gone. So I
He
think at
became
that
a cop.
point, yeah, so I think at that point, I think maybe 21, 22,
Yeah.
but he was only at home for maybe a year. He
Yeah.
wasn't, it wasn't living at home still because he was
Right.
gone so much.
Yeah, your other brother, he went in the military
My oldest
full-time.
brother started the military, joined the army. They shipped him out. I want to say he was, well, my niece will be 16 this year. He's 36. So yeah. So he, as soon as he turned 19, found out they were pregnant, joined, shipped out.
Okay, so your sister, not a military, she was a military brat, but she
I
did
was
not go,
18.
well, you cheated. You did. But your
Still
sister's
counts.
a
Still
great
counts.
it still counts, but your
Because you and I
sister's a great
cheated too, because we just joined the military.
yeah. So your sister's the best example. She didn't marry an older man and she didn't join the military. So she is a typical civilian. When did she move out? And she's Gen Z.
Okay.
Oh, my
So
cousin
that
would be
one's
a perfect example for this one too.
a little bit harder because she was still technically living at home when she got pregnant with Caden, but she was spending most of her life with the baby dad. So I want to say that she officially moved out when she met this newest guy.
And how old was she?
They just got married a year ago in September, so I want to say like a year ago before that. So she would have been 26,
Okay.
27, something like that.
When I say
But she was on and off living with mom.
okay, no,
before
when I
that.
say moving out, I mean you changed your address on your taxes.
Yeah, she was like 26, 27
Okay.
because
Why
she
do
was
you
in between living with abusive piece of shit baby dad and
whole other
my
different
parents.
podcast? Yep.
So officially moved out. That's why I said officially moved out
Yeah.
when she was like 26, 27.
Okay. Which is about the average.
So my cousin is a good example of this. He is Gen Z, right? He was born in 97.
Same, my
He
sister was too.
officially moved out 18, 19, but he moved in with his sister. No, sorry, I lied. He was living in an apartment with his mom for the longest time. Does that count? Because it was his apartment. He just let
So
his
mom
mom.
moved in with him.
Yeah,
That
because
he moved out on his own.
they both needed it. Like they were
No.
both like
If
struggling with money.
no, I would still say if
I would
his
still
name is
say it
if
counts.
his name's on the apartment, I would say that's
I
him
would say
moved
it
out.
counts. Yeah, but so in the past year, I want to say last year. Last year is the first time he's ever lived 100% on his own alone because he got a new job in Albuquerque. And that happened last year.
I mean, my
Okay.
best friend is 33 and she's never lived alone. Ever.
See,
And
now,
she lived with mom and dad. She lived with mom until she was
Over 18?
Oh yeah, 20s, I think.
Well, it seems to be a little bit more acceptable, and this is a societal thing. It seems to be more acceptable for women, for females to live at home. They seem to be more expected to from a girl's point of view. If you right now, baby, if you're 30, if you were single and you met a 30-year-old man and he was living at home with mom and dad,
I'd be asking a lot of questions.
Oh, so I'm a lesbian, and if I met a 30-year-old woman and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I still live with my parents," I'd be like,
still? Like, did you move out and you're getting a
"Why?"
divorce and now you're recovering?
Yeah, like, is there a
Like,
reason? Or, like, you just
because there's
never
certain things,
left?
right? Like, there's certain things that you can like shake off, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, they got
Got a
married young,
divorce.
right? Got divorced, shit
Yeah.
went sideways, you couldn't afford it. I get that. But if you look at me and tell me that you still actively live with your parents, like you never moved out, bitch, red fucking flag, my ass is yeeting.
Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, and you had to move back in. That's a huge
I
red flag.
I
That
honestly
is a
think
red
I
flag as
think
well.
men would give women the ick way more, because if a man meets a 29 or a 30-year-old woman and she's living at home, but she's working, or she has a degree, she just lives at home, I don't think men would think as much about it as women think about a man living at home at 30.
Yeah, I think I don't know, for me, I think either way. Like, I think either way. Like,
Well, you're coming
if
from
the cir
a
if
lesbian view.
right, but I'm thinking, like, man or woman, though, like, I think both, like, if you have a reason, right? Like, a genuine reason, whether it's a red flag or not, right? Bankruptcy, divorce, separation from whatever, or
Yeah.
you've got, you split with your baby daddy or baby mama,
Yeah.
and you've got 3 kids and you just can't fucking afford it, and your parents are helping out. Cool, bet, whatever, dude. Like, but if you're just like, I just never left.
I will guarantee you that we all
Mm.
know that her best friend is getting a divorce. If her husband, because we all have a bet going, if her husband moves back in with his dad and he's
What's the bet?
33, 34,
What's the bet? Are we betting on
we,
$33.
time?
no, I think he'll be moving back to Jersey within 6 months, back in with
Oh,
his dad. But, his stock, his man
Manhood.
stock there won't be a woman alive that will look at him. Even
oh,
after
I
divorce,
don't
even after
I don't
divorce, even
think
after losing
there's a
everything.
woman now that would look at
You
him.
know what I mean? You know what
So
I
we've
mean?
gotten off topic.
Well, no, we're
So
still on finances that you can't.
so
It's not Gen
right.
Z's fault.
So no, but it's right, but it's not Gen Z's fault, but it's not millennials' faults either.
No,
We were
no,
too young when the economy was crashing.
It's Gen X's fault.
we
We were
fucking.
too
I had a
young.
house.
I mean, I have a house too.
Damian, don't even get me started on this house. You really want to get me started on this house? Why
No.
why you were able to buy it? Didn't think so. Anyway, we were too young to fuck up the economy, right? So we were brought up into an economy that was already declining, and it had already failed by the time that we were old enough
Yeah, like in 2008.
to right. By the time that we were old enough to buy a house, right? We were already in a shit situation. So 2008 happened. We were 10. I don't think I was that young.
You were.
I was 13.
I was
Okay.
I would have been 14.
Then you put in the fact that, okay, then you had, and I'm sorry, this is going to piss people off, but then you had Obama, who did all the things with our economy that, I'm sorry, fucked our economy royally. I watched my parents struggle. I watched my parents go through
Yep.
it. And then, okay, and then we graduated, and we had to wait another, 2 years, I think, to vote. And we were already feeling the effects of our shit economy. And at that point, we were like, what are we going to do? We're too young to do anything. A lot of us had no options for jobs or cars because cars were already so expensive at that point. And every job wants, okay, do you have a reliable source of travel? Do you have and I hate the jobs that
And then our generation went through the, you have to get a degree. You have
Yep.
to get a degree.
You
You
have
have
to
to
go to
get a
college.
degree.
That
You
was.
have
Otherwise
to
you're
get
going to
a
go broke.
degree. Yeah, if you don't get a degree, you're not gonna get a good paying job, and you're
You're
gonna
gonna
be
end
a
up on
piece of shit.
Yep, you're gonna end up in
Piece
a
of
box
shit.
on the street.
I was
Yep.
smack dab in the middle of that growing up in the 80s and 90s of how if you don't go to college, you will live in a cardboard box on the side of the street.
But
and I
you
think
guys were told that you could go even just to trade school.
no, we were Gen X is the start of the college push. We were the
But let me tell you,
first year.
when we were going to school, there was no other option.
Yeah.
It literally was, like, rammed down your
Yeah.
throats from,
It wasn't like,
8th grade
hey,
and up.
go in the military. Hey, go be a cop. Hey, go work on an oil rig. Hey, go be a welder. Go do this. Go do that.
I can remember
It was college.
I can remember my entire high school experience, and every time I met with my counselor, it was, "What college do you wanna go to?
Mm-hmm.
Same
What
with
college do you wanna go
same
to?"
with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So
asked to me constantly, and I just said I'm going in the military.
Yeah,
And
so,
they
I
let me
think
go.
your generation kinda got the ass end of it, but we got, like, the full frontal, like, everybody has to go to college.
Yeah.
Like, you were pretty
Yeah.
much looked at like a disgrace at the school if you weren't going to
Yeah.
college.
Which is why we have a shortage of plumbers, electricians, carpenters now.
Right.
These jobs pay 6 figures a year.
And Mike Rowe will be the first one to tell you that trade schools have been forgotten about.
Yeah.
So
Right? We need water. We need
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
We need welders. We
Yeah.
need mechanics. We need, I know guys like I said, I'm a security guard for a mine, and I've got plumbers up there that every time hey, how are you? Hey, I'm great. I just got a new motorcycle. I just got a new
truck
whatever.
or
Yeah,
But-
they're literally wiping their ass with Benjis.
Yeah, like they're
I don't
living
think you
high
un-
on the hog.
I don't think you understand. Yeah, people don't understand that when a normal person goes into the bathroom and they flush and it all goes away, and if it doesn't all go away, you want somebody right now to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even HVAC, like anything, like, you're in the
Yep.
middle of winter and your fucking heater goes out.
Yeah, you will
Middle
pay,
of summer and your AC freezes.
Yeah, you will pay any amount of money for that guy that went to trade school that you thought was a
Yep.
fucking dirtbag to come to your house and give you air conditioning back, or to make
Yep.
the poop go away, or just the number
Whatever.
of things that your house, your electricity, or whatever.
Yep.
But so I think that is a big thing that we stopped pushing normal jobs, and
So-
normal jobs pay well.
Here's a question. Do you think that and maybe I'm not understanding how this works, but do you think that our economy is further in debt because we have so many people in college debt?
I don't.
Whether it's community college, the pristine colleges, the whatever. Like all of those people that went to college are in thousands of dollars of debt.
Okay,
and then they can't get jobs that fucking pay them worth their
So this is going to piss off a lot of people, but the two main factors.
That's the third time we've said that today.
Yeah. The two main factors, according to a dozen different statistics, you can look them up. Why you can't afford a house, why you can't afford a car, why you can't afford groceries, is inflation and women.
Right, but what caused the inflation?
The inflation was caused because women entered the workforce. As much as, yes, I see your look you're giving me, Hannah. So it wasn't the woman's fault. I want to make this clear. Women, it is not your fault. But women entering the workforce meant everybody had a 2-income household now. Well, banks, salesmen, everybody saw that coming a mile away. So now your house that a person can afford on one income, they're going to look at it like, well, now this house costs double because you have double the income. The bidding wars happen. After the 70s, housing prices, and the statistics bear it out, once women started entering the workforce, the housing market, the price of cars, everything started going through the roof. A normal house in 1955 was $7,000. That like $7,000 to $14,000. A car cost $1,000. After 1970, you're starting to get cars that are 10, 13, 14, $20,000. Now the average car is $50,000. Now the average house is $430,000. And it's because a single person isn't meant to buy this stuff. So we took away the nuclear family, we destroyed that, and then we decided, oh, you all have two incomes. Now you have more money to buy a more expensive house. So I don't want to say it's the woman's fault. It's not. But women entering the workforce did cause prices to skyrocket.
So just the thing here, right? It says women entering the workforce was a massive factor. Hold on. Female labor force participation, rose from 40% in the 1970s to 57% today. Dual incomes bid up housing prices, so more money chasing limited supplies. Banks started counting both incomes for mortgages, so bigger loans got approved, and then prices rose from there. And many families needed the second income to maintain middle-class life. So then you bring in inflation, which was the housing shortage supply.
Yep.
Housing supply shortage, dyslexic AF. Post-2008 and COVID effects. And then you do student debt, healthcare, childcare, lifestyle creep, bigger houses, more cars, tech, and travel. And then top 1% income growth concentrating demand in desirable areas. So the answer is both. It's both women and inflation.
We lost Hannah.
Lost Hannah.
Technical difficulties, guys.
I love that for us.
Yup. But no, and Hannah, I was wondering if she was just looking pissed or she froze. But hopefully we'll get her back
shortly.
You text faster than me. Ask her what's going on.
All right.
But no, yeah, it is a major factor that when you have two incomes, and what most people hear, unfortunately, I understand why women get defensive when you say women entering the workforce, caused it or was part of it. They get defensive like, what, we can't have a job? No, you can have a job, but all jobs still have consequences. And it was just a perfect storm. You add women entering the workforce, then you add inflation, then you add the housing shortage, then you add, 2000, you add all these things together. And unfortunately now we have an economy that I don't know how you fix, because you can't just arbitrarily raise minimum wage to a living wage.
So she got kicked out, is what it was. There we go.
No.
Hey, she's back.
Welcome back. You looked mad, and then all of a sudden you left, and we were like, did we piss her off that much?
I thought I pissed you off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, you were talking, and then it just, went away. Like, everything went away, and I was like...
Yep.
Like, I was trying to type in the chat, because you guys froze at first, and I was like, and then it just kicked me completely out, and I was like, oh, okay.
I guess I don't get to join.
I guess.
So
fuck it.
were you getting pissed at the women entering the workforce?
No. No. I just find it so funny that, literally anything American people have done in the past, right? Women were frustrated with only being able to stay at home, so they wanted to get jobs, right? Women were frustrated that, they couldn't have a bank unless they were married, so they made a change for that. Literally anything women have done to try to be independent, right, has fucked everything off, and corporations just took advantage of it. Oh, there's two people working, so we could charge more now. Oh, there's two people working, so we can give you bigger loans, which means everything is more expensive. So I just find it so funny that the American dream has been the backbone of America, right? Everybody talks about the American dream, and it just seems that anything Americans in general, regardless of your race, gender, whatever, anything we do to get ahead at all, the corporations are like, nah, fuck you.
Well, yeah, the corporations did. I mean, they saw the writing on the wall, but we also had as Americans, we had a big factor in it too, because so you have somebody that has a stay-at-home wife and a husband that has a decent job. He goes to buy a house. He sees this $125,000 home. He could easily afford it. It's on the market for 125,000. Now you have a couple that she and him are working, and they look at somebody and go, "We'll give you 140 for it." And then you have another couple that come in, "We'll give you
Which is what
160
caused the
for it,"
2008 crash.
which caused the 2000. And as somebody selling your house, you don't care. You just know that, oh my God, I was asking 110 and now they're offering me 160, 170, 180 for it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that becomes the standard. Now the one household income completely gets pushed off to the side. There's no way he can even compete with a bidding war, which caused the 2008. But there's no way he or she can compete with a bidding war against a 2-income family.
So I think that greed plays a big part in the
It was
inflation
huge.
because we want what we want when we want it, right? Let's say, okay, perfect example, right? Damian and I have been in Arizona now for going on 8 years, and in the last 8 years, we have seen houses skyrocket, but we've seen the population from California come over here increase. So they sell their $1.5 million home, their $1 million home, their $2 million home, or whatever, and there's a house on the market for 210, and they're like, "Oh, I'll offer you 230 for it." Okay, sold, done deal, right? Because nobody can outbid them at that point. Well, now you have people from California, and I'm sorry, I'm using California, but get over yourselves. But you have people that are coming over from California selling their $1.5, $2 million home because now that's what they're worth in 26. And okay, well, now that person that could pay outright for a 240 home is now being outbid to 250, 260, 270, 280. And I don't think there's a single house in our neighborhood for anything less than 280.
No, I just checked Zillow.
Yeah, I mean,
the
we've
cheapest
seen a
house is
huge
300.
increase.
But see, that's
Yeah,
crazy to me because your house doesn't become more valuable unless you're fucking doing shit to it.
Well, that's not true. House prices raise about 3% no matter what.
Right. But what I'm saying is, right, like, I think that's a total problem. I think in order for you to sell a house, okay, the VA, for example, okay, I'm going to use the VA for example. When you go to use the VA loan to buy a house, they come in and they appraise it. And they say, hey, this house appraised at this much. This is what that house is worth. We will only write you a loan for that much.
Right.
Yep.
That's
we
how
both
it
have
should
VAs.
go, is that
Yep.
anytime you're buying or selling a house or whatever, right? The buyer, because you are the buyer, you are the one that wants the house, you should have to pay for an appraiser to come in, view the home, and when they appraise it for, that's what it could get sold as.
Okay, so you're saying that your property now is not for you to do what you want.
I'm
So-
saying do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with your property, right?
Okay,
Like,
but if
if
somebody's
you-
paying cash and they give you 250,000 for your house that appraised at 230, no bank's involved. They're just giving you 250,000 in cash.
But that's
Of
a
course
cash.
you're gonna
yeah,
take
yeah.
it.
But that's a cash offer. How many people are actually doing cash offers?
That's a big thing here. When she was
Right,
talking about
right, because,
California
yeah,
moving here,
coming from another state, right? I get that, right? That's a totally different thing. Like, if somebody came to my house right now and said, "Hey, I'll give you $300,000 for your house cash right now," I'd be like, "Sold, bet."
yeah, that
You pay for
sentence wouldn't
everything?
even
Bet.
they wouldn't even finish that sentence.
You'd be stupid. You'd be
But
stupid.
that's what
too, right?
causes so now
But
your
I-
neighbor's house is worth 300,000 because you sold yours for 300.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well,
that's
no, that
not
is
how that
actually how
That should be
it
how
is
it
how it is.
Right. That is how it currently works, but that's not how it should work. Right. That's not how it should
Yeah.
work.
Right.
Just
Because
because
when
the guy down the street who fucking took his two-story house and fucking added energy efficient windows and, he did the backyard. Now it's got this really nice enclosed patio with, like a lanai with all the shit to keep the mosquitoes out. And he's got a bonfire, he's got a little fire pit and it's glorious and amazing. And his house is beautiful and whatever. If he goes and sells his house for $400K, that does not mean that my house that doesn't have any of that shit should be now worth more money. That's not,
Unfortunately, it does have
and
an
that's
effect.
not how that shit should work. Your house
'Cause
should be appraised and valued at that, right?
Right.
You're not, it's like me going and getting a fucking shit box, 1965 Mustang, and the fucking body of it's completely rusted out. It doesn't fucking run, but going and looking online and being like, oh, 1965 Mustangs are worth like fucking $400K right now. I can sell this one for $350. Like, no, that's
Right.
not how that works. You're selling a shit box. If you're selling a shit box, it's not fucking worth it. I don't care what the shit appraises at. Like, you go online and you see, your neighbor down the street sold his house for whatever. That's not how that shit works. Just because my neighbor sold his house for $400K does not mean that my house is worth more than it is right now. I haven't done
Unfor-
anything to the house. If I haven't done anything to the house, you haven't increased value.
Unfortunately, that's how it is. Because when we bought this house, my argument to buy the house at the price I did, I looked up the last 5 houses that were sold and said, "Hey, this is what they sold for. You're asking too much."
So I think that's outrageous. I think that's outrageous.
So,
That's mind-boggling to me.
Hannah and Damian, would you trade today's tech and lifestyle for 1970s affordability?
Yes. I don't even have to fucking, yes.
Damian's gonna say no, because he's a bougie bitch. Yeah, he's a bougie bitch.
I like my shit. I love technology. I love technology, but
What technology are we getting rid of?
well, everything in this house right now that I
Internet,
have?
streaming,
How many TVs do you have in your house?
cell phones.
3 TVs? Most people barely had 1. So get rid of 2 of them.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay, no internet, no cell
Nope.
phones.
Yes.
We might as well shut the podcast down right now.
I could get rid of all of it.
I couldn't.
So
I love my
Hannah's
stuff.
yes, Damian's no.
I can't. Yeah. I love my
I don't
stuff.
know. I think that I would enjoy being a stay-at-home wife that got together with her friends and played fucking bridge and made sure that the home-cooked meals were on the table every night. And I think that I would enjoy being the homemaker.
I would
Now-
totally be able to enjoy. Wait, hold up. But if we go back to that kind of stuff, like, I still have to be able to have my gay marriage because I'm telling you right now, I ain't marrying a man for fucking nothing. It's not happening.
Right. So one of you or your wife needs to be a stay-at-home.
Oh, Amber would be a stay-at-home so quick. She'd do all
Yeah,
her
I
little
bet.
hobbies.
Yep.
If I was a stay-at-home, I would never be in the house. I'd be out fucking killing shit.
There is a certain, don't get me wrong, there is a certain appeal. I would love to come home, and don't get me wrong, because my wife has a whole bunch of 50s dresses. So I love that era. There is a certain appeal to coming home with her in that one of those dresses,
With the
in
get
the
up.
kitchen, in the get up with her makeup and her nails, and I come home and she puts the dinner down on the table. Yeah, there is a certain, I might give up my Call of Duty for that.
Yeah, you're like half chub right now just thinking about it.
It's sexy. It is, and I would say secretly most men would want that. So
Not the beta men.
Well,
'Cause
it's
they
the
dumb as
70s.
fuck.
It's the 70s. They're dead. They're gone.
So I feel
we
like
got
we're
rid
kind
of them
wrapping up.
along with the cell,
I was gonna say,
phone.
I feel like we're kind of wrapping this up here. So I just
Yeah.
feel like there's 2 things that we need to take from this. One, we need to not be so hard on ourselves, right? Like, a lot of us feel pressured by social media because we're seeing our friends have kids and buy houses and they're making all these milestones, right? But just because you are not there doesn't mean that you are not making your strides. So we're getting there, right? But take your time, make your marks when you can. And I think the other thing too is the American dream isn't dead yet. It got a hell of a lot harder and way more expensive, but we are capable of being adaptive. We're capable of evolving and making it to where the system works for us, right? So I think at the end of the day, I think that's kind of yes, the system needs fixing, but we can make it work.
Increase wages, all problems fixed.
I disagree with that. Having
We'd
the
have to do it.
government
We would have to do a increase of wage, but freeze everything else.
Yeah, having the and that would crash the economy. Having the government step in and artificially raise wages is a surefire way of just skyrocketing inflation. It has
Yeah.
been proven time and time again through history. I know that's the sexy sounding comment from a lot of people is just make minimum wage $25 an hour, but all your food, your gas, your car,
Everything goes up.
will go up to match that $25 an hour. So artificially inflating the wages is not the answer. The
I'm
answer
not
is
saying outrageous, okay, but just pay your
no.
people what they're fucking worth. Pay your people what they're worth.
So
You want a bachelor's? Pay for somebody to have a bachelor's. You want a
I
master's? Pay for the master's.
I think I hate the government. Fucking I don't want the government in the middle of anything.
Which
But
is funny
this
because
is
we worked for them for 23 years.
yeah, we all hate we hate them because we worked for them. We know how much a fucking hammer costs in the military. Way too fucking much.
1.5 million.
Yeah. So, but I think something
stuff's pretty cheap when you buy it in bulk.
yeah. That's their excuse. I think
buy one hammer, we bought 5,000 hammers.
Yeah. So I think one of the ways the government could do it is make laws that, okay, you can have a bidding war on a house, but at 10% over, the bidding war is done.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Banks, you need to stop fucking giving loans out to
Stop approving to people that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't care that the majority of white people get the loan. Don't give loans out to so many people that can't afford loans just because they're black. And we don't want to seem like we're racist. If you don't got the credit, you don't got the credit. I know it sucks.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the I don't think the artificial inflation of wages will work. I think some laws on the institutions need to like tap them down. That's
Agreed.
my opinion. Can I do my spider thing now?
On that note, guys,
I was way too early before.
we're gonna wrap up and we're gonna say good night and good day, whenever you're watching this, and tell your dog I said hi.
Tell your cat I said pss, 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 pss.
And tell your spider,
Tippy tappies.
tippy tap. All right. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Take it easy.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.